This is Sparta, where we answer your burning questions. Paano natin maiiwasan ang false alarm? This is Spartalks, where we answer your burning questions. And joining us to shed light on this hot topic are two very respected experts in the field. First up, we have Engineer Allan Sabado. He is a professional electronics engineer with over 30 years of experience in fire detection and alarm system. He enjoys running and drinking coffee. Welcome, Sir Allan.
Good day, Sir JB.
And our second guest is a NICET fire alarm specialist, a very prestigious international recognition itself. He is also an electronics engineer and he loves playing basketball. Good morning, Sir Angelo.
Thanks for having me here.
Thank you very much. So, let's jump straight sa ating question. Ano ba talaga yung considered false alarm?
Pag sinabi mo kasing false alarm, big sabihin, signal, pero wala naman talagang sunog. So that's false alarm.
So, any alarm signal na walang sunog, yun ang considered false alarm. Okay. Sir Angelo, is it normal for facilities to have false alarm? How frequent nuisance or for false alarms are acceptable?
JB, for me, it's not acceptable to have a frequent false alarm. As much as possible, it must be reliable, the system. We must eliminate that false alarm.
Okay, so kailangan ang system natin is reliable and we're looking into reducing, minimizing false alarm. Is there like a number acceptable? Like in a year, 0, 1, 2, ano bang ating iniisip na like acceptable number? Is there such thing? Because I'm quite sure yung iba iniisip nila like they also ask the same question.
Yung acceptable kasi kung i-check natin sa ibang standard, they saying na 1 for every 50 detectors. Yun ang parang acceptable. Hanggang 1 to 40 and then lower than that, parang hindi na siya acceptable.
And how frequent is that, sir? Like 1 in 50, is that 1 year?
It's 1 year.
So that's 1 year and that's very few. In common buildings, they have small to medium, less than 50, right?
Yes.
If they ever have one, isa lang. Still acceptable pa rin naman. Sabi yan sa standard. And that is NFPA.
Yeah, actually, I read that it's not NFPA. It's on the European standard. I cannot find it in NFPA.
Alright. It's rather a European standard that says that is acceptable. But the bottom line is we wanna reduce false alarm. And as much as possible is wala tayong false alarm. And going back to Sir Angelo, what do you think are some of the most common causes ng false alarm?
I think the common source of the false alarm may be the location of the smoke detector. Like for example, near the kitchen, wherein the steam also considered the smoke. It's a placement and the location of the smoke detector on a certain area where possible na smoke that detects. Not literally smoke. Maybe came from a cooking equipment such as this steam.
So you're saying that it's more about the placement, maybe wrong placement of smoke detectors. And you mentioned like being in the kitchen. How about you, Sir Allan? What do you think are the most common causes ng false alarm?
Sometimes manually initiated din. Like may mga hot works tayo. And then they were not able to disable yung area na yun or yung zone. So that causes false alarm also.
Yes. Some activities, right? Renovation,
renovation,
hot works, anything producing smoke.
Anything that produces smoke-like particles, so that may cause false.
Yeah. And mahalagang may close coordination tayo sa property managers or whoever is managing the fire alarm system para before that is maabisuhan natin sila. Otherwise, talaga namang posibleng magkaroon ng false alarm, no? Okay, going back to Sir Angelo. Big question coming in. Why do people need to avoid false alarm?
Yes, that's very important because if there's a regular false alarm, it may be ignored by the occupant. Maybe it will be normal for them. That's not a active alarm. it's just a false alarm.
Tama.
Yeah. So the occupant may ignore it. What if there's a actual fire emergency in that area? They will ignore that alert.
I believe this is what they call the cry wolf effect, right? Na since paulit-ulit na yung false alarm, some people lose faith dun sa integrity ng ating false alarm, ng ating fire alarm system. And that's perhaps the primary reason to avoid false alarm. For our fifth question in this session, siguro Sir Allan, pagbigyan natin ng intrusive thoughts ng karamihan, or say, I would say guilty ako dito. Nung bata ko, naisip ko rin siya. But, here's the question. Ano ang mangyayari kapag hinila ko ang manual pull station?
Yan. Parang Dennis the Menace yan. Medyo nangangati yung hands natin. Pero pag hinila natin yan, of course, buong building yan, magpapa-alarm. So, iingay sa buong building.
Ano ba kayong punishment kaya, no? Paghatak ng false alarm. What do you think, sir? May idea ka ba, sir, kung may penalty?
Actually, yes. Bali, activating a manual pull station without a real alarm is penalized by law.
It's penalized by law. So, there you go. We all have these intrusive thoughts of pulling that manual pull station, yung ating manual fire alarm. But, we should not do it because it's actually punishable pala by law, as mentioned by Sir Allan. Now, just to give a little wrap up here, we've discussed about false alarm, and anything na walang sunog is considered a false alarm. We wanna keep down the number of false alarm, and some of the most common causes of it are placement. And the reason why we need to avoid false alarm is people need to have faith in the fire alarm system. Na pag narinig nila yan, there has to be a fire and they need to evacuate. Let's break a little ice here and let's have a quick game first. It's race to 3 points. We call this game, You Just Got Burned. Pabilisan sumagot ng tama. Race to 3 points. Ang maunang makatatlo, panalo. Each time someone loses, he gets a burn. Sir Allan, pag nakatama kang sagot, you are actually burning Sir Angelo. And you lose the game if you get the 3rd degree burn. Ouch! Ito yung ating horn strobe. Pindutin nyo lang ito. And anyone na makakapindot ng una ng horn strobe, he gets to answer first. So, I'm gonna flash cards here and answer anytime as soon as I flash the cards. Are you ready?
Yes. Yes.
We're gonna show 2 equipment, 2 devices. And our question is, alin sa dalawa ang mas prone sa false alarm? Okay? So, we have heat detector versus smoke detector.
Smoke detector.
Okay. Next is manual call point versus heat detector.
Manual call.
Manual call point ang mas prone sa false alarm? Would you like to steal, Sir Allan?
I would agree. Manual call point is more prone to false.
Okay. Got it. So, that's right. So, ano ang score natin? We have all one. Okay. Next one is linear heat versus smoke.
Smoke detector.
Smoke detector ang... So, Sir Angelo, meron ka ng 2 burn. Okay. Isang burn na lang and you got burned. Meron ka ng 3rd degree burn. Next up is conventional versus addressable.
Conventional.
Okay, so conventional systems are more prone sa false alarm. Is it all 2? All 2, okay. Alright, isang burn na lang and you're out. For the final question, we have multi-criteria smoke detector versus regular smoke detector. Who? Okay.
Regular smoke detector.
Regular smoke detector. Looks like someone already got a 3rd degree burn. Sorry, Sir Angelo. You just got burned. Okay, so that quick game was quite fun. And let's move on sa ating mga question. Sir Jello, since ikaw yung na-burn kanina, maybe it's time na makabawi ka. Do you think, since heat detectors ay hindi prone sa false alarm, do you think it's a good idea na bakit hindi na lang heat detectors kaya lahat para wala na false alarm, no? Do you think it's a good idea to do that?
You know that the smoke detector considered as the fire and life safety detection, while the heat detector is more on property protection. Wherein the operation of the heat detector will detect if there's a fire already, while the smoke detector, it activates as early for early detection, kaya mas siya, life safety yung ating smoke detector.
So, ang heat detector pala ay for property protection.
Yes.
Hindi siya designed for life safety.
Yes.
So, hindi porke less susceptible siya or hindi siya prone sa false alarm ay dapat puro heat detector na. We still need smoke detector for life safety purposes. Thank you very much for clarifying. Are there specific detectors or devices na mas prone to triggering false alarm, Sir Al?
Actually, hindi siya dependent sa device, but it is on how we choose that device. It's on the application.
I see.
So kaya ka napupunta sa design kung tama ba yung application ng device mo, have you considered yung environmental factor? Yan, kaya wala siya sa device, it's on the application.
I see. So, hindi pala tamang sinisisi lagi, no, sa type ng detector. Malaking factor is yung consideration sa environment factor and design. Now, moving on to that question, I want to follow up on that. Yeah, can environmental factors, how about like dust, humidity, or steam, cause false alarm? And how can we mitigate this, Sir Angelo?
Actually, fire alarm system needs a regular maintenance, including the cleaning of the devices, and of course, testing also. Before testing, there's a inspection. We need to inspect the status of the devices, and after that, we conduct testing in reference to the code and standard.
Okay, kasi itong mga devices to, they accumulate dust, right? And
Yes.
smoke. And you're saying na regular testing and perhaps cleaning
Yes.
can avoid false alarm. Would you like to add, Sir Alan, how can we mitigate false alarms coming from environmental factors like dust, humidity, or steam? Paano natin siya may iwasan?
Maiwasan natin siya if we do the right applications. Talagang doon sa design pa lang, if we put the correct sensors, maiwasan talaga natin ang false alarm. So even on the placement, so proximity sa mga equipment na nagpo-produce ng heat or sa mga equipment na nagpo-produce ng smoke-like particles, maiwasan natin ang false alarm.
I see. So since we've talked about environmental aspect sa false alarm, still with Sir Alan, do you think that a poor system design contribute to false alarm?
Yes. A poor system design, talaga yun ang pinaka-first na contribute.
Yun ang first, no?
Yan first.
Pagkausap mo yung iba, they'll say, they have a smoke detector, heat detector, na parang binabaling sa iba, no? So, ang una pa dapat nating sisihin maybe is the poor system design. I wanna go back to Sir Angelo, and you mentioned kanina yung about maintenance. Ano yung role, what role does it play in preventing false alarm?
Of course, if there's a regular maintenance, we ensure the system to be reliable at all times. So, we need to do the regular maintenance of the system.
So we don't just prevent false alarm, we also ensure na reliable yung by performing regular preventive maintenance. Thank you for that. Okay, so before we move on sa ating mga ibang question, we might wanna have, again, another very quick game. This time, we call it On Fire or On Fail. I will again flash some pictures and you will tell me if it's on fire. On fire kapag siya ay compliant ang design, tama ang system installation or ang kanyang practice. Or on fail kapag fail, mali ang installation or yung practice. We including the audience, would just like to hear your idea if the picture shown is on fire or on fail. Kung muna, this is a smoke detector na mukhang tinakpan ng tape para mapigilan ang false alarm. Is it on fire or on fail?
On pay.
Meron naman tayong manual pull station na it seems nilagyan ng tape para yung mga intrusive thoughts na gustong ilahin yan mapigilan. Is it on fire or on fail?
On fail.
On fail. Pareho on fail. So, don't do it, guys. Don't put tape over manual pull station. Kitchen area na ininstallan ng combination heat detector. Is it on fire or on fail?
On fail.
Is
On pay one.
Yeah, that's on fail.
Why do you think it's on fail though? I honestly don't know. Maybe you can clarify for us in the audience. Why using a combination heat sa kitchen?
If you use the rate of rise element would be prone to false alarm. Whenever you open the pot wherein the hot smoke will rise, so that will give the change of rate of the temperature will be very high.
So ang rate of rise pala na heat detector ay hindi advised sa kitchen. Ano ang tamang heat detector na dapat gamitin sa kitchen, sir?
Elements
Fixed element. Kaya pala siya ay on fail.
on fail.
Okay, picture what we have here is a fire alarm panel na pinatay para mapigilan ang false alarm. Is it on fire or on fail?
On fail.
Of course, on fail. Wala na siyang fire alarm kapag nakapatay na. This is example of a residential building na puro heat detector ang naka-install. Is it on fire or on fail?
On fail.
On fail, okay. As mentioned kanina, it's na kailangan ng life safety. Kaya kailangan pa rin natin ng smoke detector. And for our final picture, what we have here is ng fire alarm control panel na tinanggal niya yung linya ng sounder, yung linya ng bell or yung horn strobe para mapigilan yung false alarm. Is it on fire or on fail?
On fail.
On fail, yan. So, bawal tanggalin ang linya ng ating sounder. Alright, thank you. Thank you for participating in our mini games. This time, we're gonna jump into real-life scenarios and mga practical tips. Let's start with Sir Allan. Again, can you share a real incident where a false alarm caused major disruption or cost? And what lessons were learned?
Actually, wala akong experience sa real incident. Pero marami akong, kumbaga, na-share na nung sa iba during the trainings. So, one incident, yun yung sa duct smoke detectors na nag-alarm due to humidity or moisture doon sa air handling units. So, since air handling unit siya, so that cause actually nakakonfigure siya as alarm. So, it cause yung, kumbaga, evacuation no, sa system.
Okay. And this happened in anong type ng occupancy ito, sir?
Industrial.
Industrial. And when people evacuated, stop yung...
Yes.
So I guess ang lesson learned din is, iwasan ng false alarm, makaka-apekto siya sa operation, di ba? And they don't know how much money it cost them kung ilang oras silang hindi nag-ooperate dahil sa false alarm. How about you, Sir Angelo? Have you encountered cases where a human error or lack of training triggered a false alarm?
Yes, I remember when I was still a fresh grad and working in a high-rise building as a maintenance. My co-worker there is I think it's a intention. He tries to pull down the pull station, and that time any alarm will activate interfacing the elevator. Yes, the elevator recalls that incident when he triggered the pull station. So that's normal operation of the building wherein office work time.
most of the occupant panic because of that incident. So maybe that is not intentional due to curiosity of the personnel.
So babagsak pa din sa lack of training perhaps?
Yes.
Lack of information. Kasi installer siya eh.
Yes, he is a part of the maintenance team. Yeah, it should be. It must be. He is aware of that scenario.
Alright. So maybe we can say that it's a lack of training na ginawa, hinila niya yun. And gumana yung elevator.
Yes.
And all the interfaces. So yeah, malaki nga yung effect nun. Actually, people don't realize na... Pero nahuli ba to, sir? Nahuli? Nalaman?
Yes, when they reviewed the CCTV camera on that floor.
Sa ating mga listeners, actually may mga CCTV na ngayon. And some people don't realize na hindi siya nababalik. Yung manual pull, kapag hinatak mo, you cannot put it back without resetting. Usually they have special keys para maibalik mo siya. Na-encounter ko rin yan na may humatak ng manual pull, then pinipilit niyang ibalik para siguro mangyari na parang walang nangyari. Pero yun, sa ating mga listeners, actually, yung ating manual pull station, pag hinila siya, there's a special tool para mabalik mo siya sa normal. So, ayan. I know we have that intrusive thoughts, pero iwasan natin siyang hilahin. How about going back to Sir Allan, are there any features or technologies in modern fire alarm system na nakakabawas ng false alarm?
Yes, Sir JB. Sa ngayon, manufacturers have included as features of their system yung tinatawag nila na drift compensation.
Drift?
Yeah. By drift compensation, big sabihin, yung sensitivity ng smoke detectors adjust. As the device becomes dirty, so nafi-fix yung sensitivity. So hindi siya nagiging prone sa false alarm. Kasi yung normal na detectors, habang nagdudumi siya, yung nagiging sensitive. Pero yung mga analog na smoke sensors naman, may mga features na na-maintain yung sensitivity. Yung,
So, drift compensation is considered analog?
That's only for the analog smoke detectors.
For analog smoke.
Analog addressable.
And it has a feature na nag-a-adjust siya sa environment, sa
Yes.
dust accumulation.
Sa dasak.
And from there, nababawasan niya yung false alarm. Okay. That's a really good feature sa technology natin. Sir Angelo, how do you see technology evolving to further reduce false alarms in the future? In your opinion?
I think it will solve the problem in the false alarm what Sir Allan shared of that feature. Yes, of course, as the years and goes by, technology also improving to compensate the elimination of the false alarm.
So we're expecting more technology to be developed to reduce false alarm. Would you like to add anything about this question, Sir Allan?
Yeah, actually, UL already put a development on that. So the UL 268 7th edition. So they make the sensors more not prone to the alarms due to the cooking. So that's another technology actually, which UL is requiring if you will be listed for UL smoke detectors. So you must be not prone to the cooking elements false alarm.
Maybe I'd also just like to add, kasi ngayon AI is growing really fast and we never know. Maybe ma-incorporate siya sa ating fire alarm, and together with the technology and drift compensation, maybe it can improve a lot further. And yung UL 268 mandatory, requiring na yung mga cooking, maybe all together, looking forward in the future is lalong mababawasan yung ating false alarms. Sir Allan, what are some practical steps that businesses or building managers can take to reduce false alarms?
Building managers should have their personnel trained.
Trained.
Yeah, trained. Because if you train your personnel, so you will eliminate the false alarms regarding on like like the false alarms due to hot words, false alarms due to non-disabling of the zones or the detectors,
So more on training
training the personnel, all the staff involved in fire alarm system.
in both operations and
Management.
management and maintenance. Okay. And of course, furnishing also yung mga required documents, especially yung FSMR, and part of it is yung annual maintenance.
Yes, those are part of the training.
And maybe I'd also just like to add dahil some building owners think na random yung maybe I'll ask Sir Angelo about this. People think that the maintenance includes random testing lang na devices.
Yes.
Maybe pipili lang sila ng room or a selected smoke detector. Is that a good practice to just choose a random device during yearly maintenance?
No, it must test all the devices to ensure that all the devices working properly.
So once a year, dapat lahat ng devices natin ay matest, each individual devices.
It must be tested all.
I see. So okay. So now we have talked about false alarm, kung ano nga ba yung false alarm and ano yung mga environmental factors that affects it. And from there we learned that design plays a huge factor in minimizing false alarm. And now before we end our program, we're into the most exciting part and it goes really fast. Now get ready for flashover. Let's get to know more about our guest. We will be asking 5 questions. Let's start with Sir Angelo. We will start with 5 questions. And familiar naman kayo sa flashover. Like, in case of fire, dapat di natin ma-reach yung flashover. Otherwise, malaki na yung ating fire. That's why we need to answer these questions really, really fast. Walang panahon mag-isip. We only have 20 seconds before you reach flashover or you get burned. So, no time to think. Are you ready, Sir Angelo? Okay. Timer starts now. Sweet, salty.
Salty.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Trumpo or patintero?
Trumpo.
Hot coffee or cold coffee?
Hot coffee.
Morning date or evening date?
Evening date.
Thank you. Now, let's moving on kay Sir Allan. 20 seconds, 5 questions, no time to think. Early bird or night owl?
Liver,
Webinar or face-to-face?
face-to-face,
Risk taker or play it safe?
play it safe,
Latte or macchiato?
macchiato,
Si Mrs. ay laging tama or never mali?
laging tama.
Thus, this morning, to answer questions, paano natin maiiwasan ang false alarm? And I hope that the audience learned a lot on how to reduce nuisance alarms. And maybe the audience would like to know more about you. Sir Allan, can you please let us know in the audience? Of course, we're also gonna put it in the comment sections, but where can we further reach you?
Okay, my Facebook account is Allan Sabado. You can also attend my trainings, fire detection alarm system training, 2 days comprehensive training, which is conducted monthly in Cubao.
How about you, Sir Jello? Where can people reach you?
So you can reach me also in my Facebook account, Angelo Olermo. And also I have a Facebook group, Fire Alarm and Signaling Philippines group. And also, like Sir Allan, I also conducted monthly training for the fire alarm system at Calamba, Laguna.
Alright, so that wraps up our conversation kung paano mababawasan ang false alarm. If you have more ideas or topics in mind, questions, please leave your comments below so that we can answer them on our next podcast session. And this is Fire Talks, where we answer your burning questions. Thank you, Sir Allan. Thank you, Sir Angelo. Next week ulit.
Okay.